This is the Side Hustle Show with Nick Loper, episode 26.
Welcome to the Side Hustle Show, where aspiring part-time entrepreneurs learn how to turn their side hustle dreams into reality. Because your 9 to 5 may make you a living, but your 5 to 9 makes you alive. And now, your host, Nick Loper.
Hey everybody, Nick Loper here. Welcome to another edition of the Side Hustle Show. This is episode 26, which is officially halfway to the 1-year mark for a weekly show. So let me take a minute just to say thank you to everyone who's been tuning in and anyone who's listened to any of the first 25 episodes. It's just really exciting that you would choose to spend part of your day with me, and that's kind of what keeps me working hard each week to deliver as much valuable and helpful content for you as I can. Now, the focus of this week's show is affiliate marketing. And even though I could probably ramble on this topic for days, I'm thrilled to have Josh and Jill Stanton from screwthe9to5.com joining me to help out. And a big thank you to Adam Finnan for turning me onto their website, another one that immediately spoke to me as soon as I saw it. But before we get into that, I do have one quick shout for Scotty B82 for the new 5-star iTunes review. Give it up. Scotty says, informative and easy on the ears. Nick's unassuming interview style generates awesome information from each of his guests. If you have a side hustle, this is a must listen. Thank you so much for sharing that. This show runs a little longer than most, so we're going to get right into it. And we do our best to cover a ton of the tactical stuff that goes into building a successful affiliate site. And if you're not somewhere where you can take notes, be sure to stop by sidehustlenation.com/episode 26 for all the links and details. And with that, let's get Josh and Jill on the line and jump right in. Josh and Jill, welcome to the Side Hustle Show.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
This is going to be a really cool talk because, so how long have you guys been in affiliate marketing?
Well, Josh has been in it for nearly 7 years now, but I'm the relative rookie around these parts and I've just been at it for about 18 months. Okay,
well, between the three of us, we still have got over 15 years of experience, so that's really, really cool.
Crushing.
So for Josh and Jill, for people just tuning in, these guys are a pair of super affiliates. I don't know if people still even say it's super affiliate. They're living the digital nomad dream, traveling the world, running their business from their laptops, and chronicling it all for the rest of us at screwthe9to5.com. Love the domain. So where are you guys coming to us from this morning?
We are in Chiang Mai, Thailand right now.
Beautiful.
So it's a little city in the mountains of northern Thailand.
It's actually the second largest city in Thailand, but you wouldn't know it. It's so small. Yeah.
It's like the digital nomad capital of the world. I'm really excited that Side Hustle Nation is going global with this call. And, and my wife and I actually are going to be in Chiang Mai probably a couple weeks after this episode goes live. So definitely look forward to it. And we'll have to meet up in person for sure.
Of course. We'll have to have some drinks at the cocktail van.
Awesome. A cocktail van. That sounds really cool.
It's just a van on the street and they serve drinks, but it's amazing.
Perfect. So Josh, when you started doing your affiliate stuff, was it full-time right out of the gate, or did you start as a side hustle?
Yeah, I sort of got my start as an intern for a couple of guys who had an SEO company, and they sort of taught me a lot there. And I worked for about 18 months with them, and they taught me heaps. And then from that point on, I sort of jumped out and then slowly started to get involved with affiliate marketing after that. So for me, yeah, it wasn't like at first when I got started, I wasn't actually making a lot of money. Like I was still living at home a little for a while, and it wasn't until sort of a few years in that I started to like really pick up steam and start doing well. So.
That's really cool. I can't believe we made it to episode 26 of the Side Hustle Show without talking about affiliate marketing. So that's been my original side hustle and what's been my main hustle for the past several years. So definitely excited to get into this. So we've outlined the 5 actionable steps to affiliate marketing success. And these guys I know have prepared a ton of notes, and we actually want to walk through one of the sites that I have kind of started and then kind of have neglected, and use that as a little bit of a case study. So that site, if you want to see what it looks like in its current form, is called livechatsoftwarehq.com, which is a review site for some of the various live chat, website plugins and software solutions that are out there. So the first bullet point I have is kind of niche selection for building an affiliate site. And I want to take that back, because I think if you're starting out with the mentality of building an affiliate site, you might be setting yourself up for failure right away. And Jeremy Palmer had an article about this in the Affiliate Summit magazine maybe a year ago. And he's like, stop building affiliate sites. And his point was, build a site that's useful to people, that's helpful to people. And it's okay to use affiliate relationships as maybe one part of your monetization strategy. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we actually don't really build thin affiliate sites too much. Like, we have a few, but we don't really touch them anymore. Our main focus for the last, I guess, over a year now has been building branded authority sites. So yes, they're affiliate sites, but they have like 200 posts plus on each of them. So they have their own established brand. They have a newsletter list. They have a social following, and they have, weekly readers who come back every week and read our content. So we sort of, I know for a lot of people it's more of a long-term plan, but that was sort of the goal we wanted to go towards, because obviously we all know Google's sort of moving in that direction. They are really preferring, high quality branded content that not only makes you money, but serves the needs of your readers. So we figured, well, crap, we might as well get started on that before we get slapped and there's no return.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, because if you take a look at one of these sites, you wouldn't know that it's an affiliate site, right? You would just sort of think it's like a blog or a resource that people can go to and get information on. Like, the way we've kind of structured it is we're not actually promoting, let's say we do product reviews, we do them twice a month. We're not promoting every single product that we review. We actually only promote the best product in its category. So, for example, one of our sites is a skincare site. So we won't promote every single anti-aging cream that we review. We'll only promote the best. So we'll review one cream that might not be as good as the best one, and we'll say, give our honest opinion on that product, and then say, if you want something better, maybe try checking out this review on this product. So it's like hidden affiliate marketing almost.
And it just goes to build the trust with our readers that we're not always there trying to sell them something. It's not just push. It's like that we'll never have. So the products that we review that get a lower review rating, they don't have affiliate links on them. All they have is internal links going to our next review. So it's kind of a funnel we've set up.
Right. Not everything can be amazing. If you read some of the older sites, it's like, oh, you're just trying to pitch every little product. And I think you hit on a really important point that, with all the Google updates, there may not be a much of a lifespan left for some of these super thin sites that are, the sole purpose in life is to make money and to, shuffle people along to make a product sale.
Yeah. It's so true. I think, just that's not what people want anymore. Like, people are becoming more web savvy, and when they go to these crappy sites that look like SHIT, why would you want to A, trust that person, and B, buy from them? Like, I would be so wary of that. I'd much rather go to something that's a bit more authoritative looking and has other stuff going on apart from 3 posts.
Yeah, and I suppose another good point to touch on is there's not a lot of room for growth with those small sites too. Whereas if you have a big branded authority site like one of our sites has 250 posts or something on it, later on we can kind of turn that into its own e-commerce site. Maybe we can launch our own skincare products out of it. There's just so much more you can do with it. Definitely.
So you guys mentioned skincare. Is that something you're particularly passionate about? I know we wanted to touch on kind of niche selection. How do you choose, if you're somebody just starting out, how do you pick kind of what area of subject matter to build a site around?
Well, to be honest, when we first started, we didn't have the kind of focus or opinions we do now. So we chose skincare because I was going to write the content and I'm a girl and it's much easier for me to write on that versus something like insurance.
Yeah, I wasn't going to write about skincare.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we went with that. But over the months and over the last 18 months, I guess, I've really started digging it. Now, with that being said, we've now outsourced the content to our writer, and she is all about natural skincare and DIY methods. So the content she writes, she's actually stoked about. So it's, much better than what we were ever writing. Like, we put all our effort into it, but we didn't have the kind of passion she did. So it's really, helped to transform our site even more into something that people will be like, oh, that's a great tip. Or, we don't always just do product reviews. We do 4 free DIY posts to every 2 product reviews.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of interesting. Like, our opinions slowly shifting towards a different form of niche selection. So we wrote a free book on our site called The Art of Authority. You can just go there and download it. You don't need to sign up to our list or anything like that. And in it, we talk about niche selection right at the start, and we talk about taking something either A, you're passionate about, B, you've been doing for a long time, so it's like your job or whatever, or C, you're really good at doing, and turning that into an authority site. So a good example would be something like, let's say you've been in construction for the last 20 years or something like that. What you do is maybe start a site, because you know so much about that area, you could start a site maybe talking about all the sort of different programs there are that you need to pass in order to be certified for the different areas of construction. That was actually one of the topics I talked about in a video I just did recently. That's kind of an example of what you can do. So just take something that you already know and then turn that into a site. And the thing is, with something like that, there are programs you can actually promote as an affiliate and make a lot of money through. Most of the time you'd be surprised at actually how many different niches there are that actually have affiliate programs that you can actually make money on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was to recap, something you're passionate about, something you know a lot about, and what was the third?
Something you do already for a living.
Okay.
So perfect example would be, we know a guy here who was an accountant back in San Diego. And he just was so sick of the 9-to-5 grind, which is more like 8 to 7 there. And so he transferred all his accountancy skills into teaching people how to pass the CPA exam. And now he makes $15K a month just through this one affiliate site.
Wow. That's pretty nice.
So it's very possible to take a 9-to-5 job and flip it into an affiliate site or a passive income source.
And it was really funny because I was talking to him yesterday, and he talks to his colleagues from back in San Diego every now and then, and they just sort of think he's started this site for free. He's not making any money. He's just kind of blogging and giving people free tips and stuff.
Oh, they don't know the back end of it.
Yeah, they don't realize he's actually making $15,000 a month.
Wow, very cool. So this is kind of a topic of debate, and my take on it is kind of passion is something that's definitely overplayed in internet marketing. You got to pick something you're passionate about. It's like, I think you got to pick something that you care enough about to want to work on it on a day-to-day basis, but you don't necessarily need to be passionate about it. And where this kind of came into play when I was talking with Spencer Haas from Niche Pursuits, his first site was on Buffalo nickels or something just ridiculous. And he's like, I don't care about the subject matter. He flat out will tell you that. But I am passionate about the process, right?
Yeah. And I think, if you just keep that in mind, I remember last summer, I was having a really hard time. I was sort of hitting a wall with, what the heck should I write about? I don't know that much about skincare. But it was really just like a mental block I had to get over. I had to realize that it wasn't, okay, so I have to write about anti-aging. Boo. But I really enjoy the lifestyle it gives me. And I really enjoy growing a business and the challenges that come with that. And writing the content is just one little sliver of that. You know what I mean? So, like you said, you have to fall in love with the whole thing, not just your niche.
Yeah, I guess there's kind of two ways of going about it, really. There's that way there where you fall in love with the you fall in love with the process of online marketing and whatever. But there's also, I mean, it's very rare, I guess, that you will find something you're passionate about into your online business. But if there is anything, then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Or if the job that you've been working on for the last 20 years, you can actually transfer that, as Bryce did with his accounting blog, into a successful online business, then it makes it a lot easier. So if Bryce had have started in, say, like the weight loss industry or something like that, he would have been, fighting so hard to try and get his site up and running and making good money. But because he already knew so much about accounting, it was easy for him. It was so easy, and all his readers responded to his information because he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll talk about my niche selection process for this live chat site, which there was no research involved. I had a little bit of experience with live chat, kind of like selecting the software and installing it on different sites. But really what attracted me to the niche, and this is terrible, was some of these affiliate programs have recurring payouts. And that's like literally what attracted me to it. And I think that was kind of the wrong mentality. I think I could still build it into a valuable resource. But, when the money was dictating the decision and not seeing the immediate traction and results, that was kind of discouraging for me. So kind of that's a good transition into kind of our second point, which is this kind of keyword research phase, or just kind of competitive analysis, trying to figure out, hey, is there money in this niche?
Yeah. Did you run any keyword research from the start?
I looked up something like live chat reviews, live chat software, just like in keyword research tool, like in AdWords, right? Like nothing in Market Samurai, or nothing in Longtail Pro or anything like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could explain the process that we would use if I was starting a new site. So if I was starting a new site now, I use Longtail Pro, and I'll just grab maybe 5 to 8 keywords. So, for example, in that niche is live chat software, so that would be a C keyword. And I would plug that into Longtail Pro, and it's just going to go ahead and grab a bunch of keywords related to those C keywords. And the really cool thing about Longtail Pro is you can then check competitor analysis on it. So there's 2 forms of competitor analysis. There's the Google title competition. So it determines how many pages use the keyword in the title of that page. So obviously, the more pages that use the keyword in the title, the more competitive it is. So the rule of thumb I stick to is less than 1,000 when using Longtail Pro. And then the second thing is their KC, or the keyword competition, which checks it based off a few factors. So off title competition, as well as backlinks as well, backlinks and page rank and stuff like that. So what I generally do is I will run a search for a bunch of C keywords, and then I will cull down and only look at all the ones that have less than 1,000 Google title competition results. And then I'll go through and check the keyword competition for each of those, and maybe take the best 10 keywords and write pieces of content around those.
Okay. So for example, if you plugged in live chat software as the keyword into this research tool, and we could crossing our fingers or hoping it comes out with a fewer than 1,000 other sites using that in the title tag of their pages, right?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, it's also going to pick up a whole bunch of related keywords like best live chat software reviews, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And you can analyze all those individual keywords and basically write pieces of content on each of those keywords, or each of the ones that are actually worth trying to target. Because a lot of people just look at search volume, right? So if they see that there's a lot of search volume for a keyword, they think, oh, great, I'm going to try and rank for this keyword because it's got a lot of search volume. Little do they know that maybe that keyword is almost impossible to rank for because it's so well established. So I think personally, competition is more important than search volume. Even if you can rank for a keyword term that has, say, 100 searches a month, at least you're ranking, at least you're drawing traffic. If you're not ranking, you're not getting any traffic.
Right. You could try and rank for some crazy competitive terms, but if you're on page 100, nobody's ever going to find you.
Exactly.
So next up, so that's kind of the seed point to generating traffic. Like, so you're essentially banking on getting traffic free from Google, like organic search results, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's sort of my background is in SEO. That's what I've been doing for a long time. Everything's changing like super quickly in SEO, but the one thing that sort of remained the same is that Google is still a link-based algorithm, right? So you can check how competitive every keyword is based off based off the number of links or the quality of links of your top 10 competitors. So if you know that you can build more links than your top 10 competitors, then you're most likely going to rank on page one.
Okay. And Longtail Pro, they'll tell you the backlink profile of the competitive sites?
Yeah, it uses Open Site Explorer. So it's very accurate.
Okay, so Open Site Explorer is a Moz tool, right?
Yeah.
Is it so both of these are paid, or Longtail Pro is paid? Is there any like free resource that maybe isn't as good but can maybe do the quick and dirty work for people who don't want to spend the money right out of the gate?
Quick and dirty. We actually have a category on our skincare site called Quick and Dirty.
I mean, prior to using Longtail Pro, I wasn't using any keyword software, which is a huge mistake on my part. But I was just using just Google's keyword tool, and then just going to like Open Site Explorer or whatever, and just one by one checking the top 10 competitors. It obviously takes a lot longer, so that's why I use Longtail Pro. But it's the same process, really.
Okay,
and that's the quick and dirty.
Yeah, it sounds like it's slow and painful, but at least it's free.
The long and dirty.
Very cool. So for an affiliate site that is okay, so you've built up this, so you got your niche idea, you've done the keyword research, you started to create some content articles. So now you mentioned the next step is going to be to build links to that site or to those article pages.
Well, I'm just going to butt in real quick for your keyword research. I think that it's also important to talk about your posts, and like I think everyone knows, or at least has a working knowledge of SEO if they're in affiliate marketing. And so everyone knows that you have to incorporate your keyword and your post title and your URL and all that sort of stuff. But I think for your live chat software site, one thing you could do is, if you're using Josh's Longtail keywords and stuff, is to make your headlines a bit more engaging. Like, I think that could help you out. That could really help set apart your site from, another live chat software affiliate blog that maybe is just doing, ClickDesk as the headline, like something similar to what you have now. But you could always use something like ClickDesk : is the free option even worth the download? That way it's a bit more eye-catching. It asks a question. It gets people curious, and it's just sort of like, oh, well, is it? Let me find out.
Okay,
and then they click and read your post. Whereas ClickDesk, I'm like, oh.
Right,
okay.
It's not very compelling. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that that's also something people really need to think about with affiliate sites now is you can't just rely on what worked 3 years ago, because the web is so different now, especially with this like new introduction of Hummingbird and everything being more conversational and long tail based anyways. I think it would, do your site huge justice to focus more on engaging and captivating and magnetic headlines versus, 2 words.
All right, real quick for people who aren't following SEO, tell us about Hummingbird.
Oh, right. Sorry. So we don't know that much about it yet because it was just announced, but from what we're gathering, it sounds like Google's moving towards, how before they used to be like, for example, like San Diego restaurants. And that would be the keyword you try to target. Now it might be, what is the best restaurant in San Diego? And that would be what people are searching. So while some of them might be already searching them, a lot of SEOs would be, trying to game it and just doing San Diego restaurants. Whereas now the focus is more on
like
using conversational keywords, because that's really what Google's moving towards, is this personalized kind of web.
Okay, so more conversational, more semantic search. Okay.
So if you can work that into your posts and your headlines and your content, you're laughing.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Also, another thing you could do is to switch up the kind of posts you write. So yes, we all know that with affiliate sites, the main money maker is reviews, but you don't always just have to write reviews. You could write list posts. So maybe the top 10 best live chat softwares and highlight the pros and cons of each. Or you could do a comparison post, which is like a ClickDesk versus, I can't remember the other ones. I don't have the site open right now, but
Yeah. I think those comparison posts are really popular because I know when I'm like doing my research, I'll always be like, okay, iPhone 5 versus, whatever the Samsung one is, like you kind of compare, or when I was looking at a new computer, it was like XPS 13 versus MacBook Air or something, and for the person, for that one person who happened to write that post, he was right on top. Exactly.
And people like sort of the comparison post because maybe they're searching this one, but they didn't know this other option existed,
Okay.
Or even like you could write a reasons why post. So something like why you need a live chat software that isn't Skype.
Okay.
And sort of start explaining it a bit more and then highlight the products you want to push. Also, subheadings. That's another great way to get your keywords in there and to really break up long chunks of text. So it's not just, this one huge body of long ass paragraphs and completely unscannable. You have to remember that a lot of people who are coming to affiliate sites or review sites in general are looking for certain tidbits of information. So it really helps their process if you can break up your content with subheadings. So, for example, live chat or ClickDesk, sorry. So what the heck is ClickDesk? Then I would write like what I love about ClickDesk, what I loathe about ClickDesk, what other people are saying about ClickDesk, place to order ClickDesk, and like my overall thoughts on it. I would really break it down so that people could be like, oh, I don't need that. Oh, there's exactly what I'm looking for. Instead of reading, a 500-word blog post that they're like, damn it, I don't know where the information is.
Yeah, get to the point already. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Is there so this is maybe a little old school. Is there any rule of thumb you guys use for like word count in your posts?
I mean, we try and stick over 400, 500, but I really think that I don't even know if that matters that much anymore. I really think that if you can deliver your content in an engaging way that makes people actually give a shit, that's really what you want to move towards. Like if you can say something in 300 words versus 400 words, but 300 words is so much more compelling, say it in 300 words. People don't have time anymore.
By the way, are we allowed to swear on your show?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. I don't think I have the, whatever parental advisory thing on, so you're fine.
Okay, sweet. Because I have a trucker mouth. As long as you can make it compelling and make people want to read and like really set your reviews apart that way, then I think you're laughing.
I think that's also the reason why list posts work so well too. Every time I read a list post, it's so easy to read because I'll just go through one by one and I'll literally just read the headlines and that's all I'll take a look at.
Yeah, you can skim the whole thing down in 30 seconds and stuff instead of, trying to sort through these just big blocks of text.
Yeah. And also the important thing is that you get to the bottom of the post, right? Because we could talk about things like calls to action and stuff. Like, so at the bottom of the post, once they get to the end of, say, a review on ClickDesk, there's going to be your call to action, right? So it's going to be your affiliate link right at the bottom. So your aim is to get people reading your entire piece of content, or at least getting to the bottom to see your link.
Gotcha. No, that's definitely an area of opportunity because I don't think there is anything like that down at the bottom.
Web surfers are kind of like, they kind of have like ADD. Everyone's like, ooh, bright, shiny new thing. Ooh, link. Ooh, sidebar banner. So if you can keep them moving towards your call to action at the bottom of your post, there's a huge chance that they'll click that, especially if they've invested all that time reading your definitely something you want to work towards.
Let's talk about some SEO. I'm excited.
Let's do it. What do you got for me?
I did some backlink analysis on your site, and you haven't had a lot of time to build backlinks, I assume, right?
Well, I guess I should say I've had plenty of time. I just haven't had the interest or I don't know. That's the thing with the site. It's like I just don't. It's just not doing it for me. Like I'm just not excited to work on it, and so it's very neglected. You're right. So there's not a ton of backlinks.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the point. Like if you start making money, then you get excited, right? Like
it's chicken and the egg, right? It's like you got to invest the time, so it starts getting some traffic and all this stuff. But it's like I can't. Anyways, go ahead.
So whenever I start a new site, I sort of think about how I would go about getting backlinks. So let's say for a skincare site, or let's say we have a weight loss site as well. Weight loss site, like the best way of building backlinks for us is through guest posting, because there's so many other well-established weight loss sites that will take guest posts from us. So it's like for us, it's the best way of building backlinks is through guest posting. But I'll talk about that later. So in this situation, in this kind of site, there's probably not a lot of sites you can guest post for and link back to a site about live chat software. I mean, you could potentially go to some tech blogs and write some content about why everyone should use live chat software for their site or whatever, and you could probably build some backlinks that way.
Okay.
But for this type of site, I'd probably go more grey hat approach as opposed to white hat, which is like guest posting of things.
Right.
So grey hat in this situation, and I just started doing a lot of this, is we started building our own blog network for the purpose of linking. So I learned this system from a guy named, I'm not sure, do you know Alex Becker from SourceWave? Have you heard of him before?
Yeah, the name is familiar. I don't know if I've ever been on the site, but the name is familiar.
He's a pretty good SEO. Like he talks a lot about grey hat stuff. So grey hat is kind of like, it's not black hat, so it's not web spam or anything like that, but it's basically you are building a network of sites that you own, so domains that you own on your own server, and you are using those for the purpose of linking to your money sites. And usually those types of sites on your blog network have high page rank, or they're well established, so they've got high authority. And so whenever you build a link from one of those sites back to your own, it's going to obviously help your money site boost up higher on search rankings. So one of the techniques that he teaches is to go on like prpowershot.com or
sorry, say that again.
prpowershot. It's just like, it's a software actually, and it basically scours through GoDaddy auctions and helps you find expired domains up for auction, and you can purchase those you can get like a PR3 for like $100, or like anywhere from $50 to $100, PR4 from like $100 to $200, PR5 from like $200 to $300. So that's his technique. And when I first got started, I didn't want to spend that much money, so I decided to go down another road, and that was finding expired domains. So domains that have expired but still have a whole bunch of backlinks going into them. It's a tricky process, and I don't really have time now to explain it, but the purpose of that was just to build up a blog network, so a network of sites that I use to link to my money sites. And it's such a fast way of ranking, and you can control it. That's the best thing about it.
Okay, so the gist of it, instead of building up your own network of blogs, you can go out and buy these expired sites that somebody else has already put all the effort into, and for whatever reason they forgot to pay their renewal fee or just got sick of it, but they still hold their page rank from before.
Exactly, yeah. It's kind of like mining for gold.
Okay, I like that analogy.
The process I use two pieces of software. I use Scrapebox. I don't want to go into detail because it will take, I could literally have a whole discussion about it.
Yeah, that could be a whole nother episode, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes, like occasionally I find, big nuggets of gold, so like PR5s, PR6s. And just straight away, all I need is, for some sites that I'm setting up, all I need is maybe 2 PR6 links, and I can get a page ranking. I can get a page ranking on page 1 of Google within a week or two.
Okay, wow. Are you looking for domains kind of in a similar or complementary niche, or does it even matter?
It doesn't matter, because all that really matters is when you're writing your content, you're actually recreating a site, right? So you recreate a site, you install WordPress, and let's say you're linking back to a post on your review on ClickDesk. What I would do is I would just write, and let's say my expired domain is called abc.com, totally unrelated, but I would write a piece of content about ClickDesk or about live chat software. So the piece of content where your link appears is relevant, and that's all you need to do. That's enough. It's enough for Google to deem that link exists on a relevant page. That's all they care about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that could be like a one-page site?
It could be a one-page site. So generally what I do is I just have one site with no more than 10 posts on it, and all the links will appear on the homepage, because that's where most of the value is on these expired domains.
Okay, so you set it up as a blog, and all 10 of those articles or whatever show up on the homepage, and they all link out to stuff you want to pump some link juice to.
Exactly. So it's not black hat, like I'm not spamming, I'm not like sending millions of links or whatever, but I'm utilizing a breach in Google's algorithm, if you will.
Okay.
I think it's important also that in each of the posts that you're writing for your blog network sites, that you only link 2 or 3 times to the site, and you have to vary the anchor text and all that sort of jazz, like just how you would link regularly. But so essentially each high PR site only pumps out 30 links, and then you're done with it and you move on to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what was the tool you said for finding these expired domains?
So the expired domains, I use Scrapebox, and I combine that with a free tool called Zenu, which is Zenu. It's actually a technique that I took from, I watched an interview with Spencer and a guy from nomadseo.com, and he started using that. I believe he has mostly AdSense sites, and since he started using that technique, he's like now generating 25, 30K a month from AdSense.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, a little bit of investment up front. Are those are paid services, I assume?
So Scrapebox is like $60, and it's just a one-off. Zenu is free. And also the good thing about when you're finding these expired domains is you're not buying them through auction, right? So you're not having to pay $100, $200, $300. They're literally expired. So you can get a name sheet and register them instantly.
Oh, okay, yeah, for whatever the GoDaddy fee is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, so it's a really, really cheap way of building up a blog network, but still, I've noticed a major difference as far as our search rankings go. Wow.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I've heard kind of that people were using expired domains, but no one ever explained it to me in that way. So that's really cool. Thanks.
No worries.
I'm sure there'll be many more conversation in Chiang Mai.
Definitely. So okay. So we talked a little bit. Do you have any? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Do you have another piece on SEO?
Maybe one thing we could talk about with a site like that. Well, we want to talk about guest blogging a bit later. But when you have a small site that doesn't have too many posts, there's this technique called siloing. Have you heard of siloing before?
No.
So siloing is basically, let's say you have 3 posts on your site, and you're trying to rank each of those posts for their own keyword. What you could do is you could drive links to your homepage, and then your homepage will link to post 2 or page 2, and then page 2 will link to page 3, and then page 3 will link back to your homepage. So what you're doing is when you're driving juice or link juice into your homepage, it's siloing through. So it's kind of cycling. So the link juice will come in, it'll link from page 1 to page 2, then page 2 to page 3, and then back to page 1, and then it'll flow on through again. So it's like creating this like silo effect. Instead of it just finishing on page 3 and nothing happening with that page rank, it's going back to the homepage and then siloing through again. So it's creating extra juice.
Okay.
So it's something that I'm not sure how many posts you have on your site, but if you have, it's usually worked for sites that have less than 10 posts.
Yeah, I think there's probably 25 or 30 at this point.
25, 30. In that case, what you could do is maybe break up each post into different categories. So maybe you have 5 different categories with 5 posts in it. So you would drive link juice into the category pages, and then you could silo it through just the pages in that category. So
so creating 5 different little like mini silo circles inside the site.
Exactly, yeah. It will have a major difference on your site, you'll notice.
Okay, wow. It's like just a different way to think about kind of hierarchy and visitor flow and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all the kind of stuff that Matt Cutts won't tell you.
Definitely. So I think you're with me. Like I don't know that there's a ton of live chat blogs out there where I could like blog, do a guest post on live chat. But if there was something about 5 ways to make your website more compelling, and maybe live chat is one of those ways or something. So I mean, there's always a way to kind of make a guest post compelling, but it's just I don't know. I just don't have the energy to work on it right now.
Fair enough. And I would think there are you're never strapped for sites to write for, because if I were you, I'd be writing for tech blogs, business blogs, B2B blogs, anything like that. And the process is so easy to find them once you know how to find them. So if I were you, I'd pitch stuff with tech blog like the resurgence of live chat software, or why your business or why your website needs live chat. Or I'd pitch to business blogs, why your business could benefit from live chat, or anything to that effect. Like you can even go slightly outside your niche and write a post that is not exactly about live chat, but you mention it somewhere within, even if it's a one-off mention,
Right.
But then when you're linking in your author bio, you're linking to your live chat software. So it's still relevant. It's not completely off topic, but you don't have to just stick to live chat guest posts.
Yeah, and it's kind of worth mentioning that, and why we kind of built a lot of success in the last 18 months actually through guest posting. I know we were doing mostly sort of great Black Hat stuff initially, and we weren't getting the kind of results. Like I remember we were posting on one popular blog network, building links that way, and all of a sudden that whole blog network got de-indexed by Google. Google obviously discovered them, de-indexed them. We got smashed, right? So we said, okay, let's start doing some white hat stuff here. Let's start doing some guest posting, because we know we can do it. We know we can write. It will just depend on how much time we want to put into it. So within the space of 4 months, we went from like $1,100, one site was making like $1,100 to making like over $5,000 within 4 months, just from guest posting. That was the only form of promotion we were doing.
And so that in turn kind of increased your exposure, increased your rank site wide, and so you're able to capture it was just a volume game, or like more traffic, I mean?
Yeah, well, we did that, obviously it was our only method of SEO. It was the only thing we did for linking. But we also realized it started having a huge effect on growing our email list, on our social following, and it just started more people would hear, oh, okay, I could go to this site for skincare advice or DIYs or whatever I'm looking for. It just helped get our name out there, especially if you can hit the bigger sites, who have a huge audience. So one example is if anyone has a travel site or a healthy living site, yoga site, weight loss, lifestyle, personal development, anything in that sort of realm, you could write for a site like Mind Body Green, which is a PR6, has millions of readers, has a whole crapload of Facebook followers, and they're active, and they click links, and they go check out your stuff. I remember one time, the first post I ever wrote for them, we got 100 new likes that day, and we were like, what?
Well, this is awesome. So how do you go about pitching these big name sites?
Some of them have guidelines that you have to follow. But other ones you can just, get in touch with them and say, are you still accepting guest posts? If so, would you be interested in something like this? We have a free training series coming up all about guest blogging, where we teach the where we teach everyone our exact process we went through to grow from, 2 sales a month to 5,000. And it details all of these little elements, like how to pitch. And, I always say my rule of thumb is to always pitch more than one topic, because sure, you might think your topic is awesome, but if you're only pitching one and it doesn't really apply to their readers or the kind of voice and tone they go for, the style they like, they're going to deny that, even if it was a great post, So if you give them choice, they might be like, oh, well, number 1 isn't really good, but I really like topic number 3, So you're giving yourself more of a chance to get approved.
Gotcha. So this free training is called Badass Guest Blogging. Where can people learn more about that?
Badassguestblogging.com.
Nice. I love that you actually registered that domain.
Of course. I mean, we had to stick on sort of like the out there URLs, as we have Screw the 9 to 5. And
we have no choice.
It's the brand, you got to keep going with the personal branding.
Exactly. It's kind of in your face branding.
We have a lot of fun with it though. Like we have screw sessions. So it's our consulting, which is we have a 30-minute quickie.
Or we have a 2-hour-long screw, which is a 2-hour coaching session, or just we have like an SEO auditing thing, and it's called Screw SEO. It's just there's so many things to play with there.
Yeah, have some fun with it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for now, people can go to badassguestblogging.com and sign up to get on the list for the free training, which launches November 1st.
Very cool. So that's like, it'll be tomorrow, I think, by the time this show goes live. So, guys, thanks so much. The last topic I had on my bullet list here was regarding building an email list. And I don't know if there's anything specific you guys wanted to touch on. I use a software called Aweber, which is actually kind of expensive for what it is. I've found a new service called Reachmail, which I don't know if they're any good at all. Like I ran into them at Affiliate Summit, but apparently it's free up to 8,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty cool.
So can they be integrated with things like lead pages, or can they be integrated into like your Facebook page or anything like that?
That I'm not sure. Haven't done it because I prepaid with Aweber through, I think, December. Okay. But when that comes due, I think I will have to give these guys a closer look because I don't have that many people on my list yet.
Well, we use Aweber and we love it. It is expensive, but if you're making money off your list, it's completely justified. For you, do you have an opt-in bribe that you use to get people on your list?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So does it work?
For the live chat software, it's not a lot of takers. The traffic is so low, it's hard to judge, but not a lot of takers.
Fair.
I think when you talk about email marketing, you've got to think about, okay, so is this going to be my strategy? Like, is this what I'm going to be doing? Because if, say, for example, if you just want to drive direct traffic, you just want people coming to your site and then clicking your affiliate links and going out and purchasing, then that's a different form of, like, I don't think you should focus too much on email marketing. However, if you kind of want to get people on, say, like a 4-week course or something like that, if it works really well with your niche, then what you could do is just your main goal is to just build leads. So you need to put your opt-in form at the bottom of each post, because that's probably going to be the number one area where you're going to build leads. Also at the top right-hand corner. And what you can do is, if that is your main goal, is just build leads and then promote product to them through that list. Then obviously that's what you need to do. You need to sort of get rid of all the other distractions on your site and just focus on getting them opted in.
And for an affiliate site, this is the way it was explained to me, is like you may expect to convert, 2% of your visitors or something. And so an email is the way to at least have a chance to continue talking to the other 98% of people.
Yeah, as long as you're comfortable with continuously supplying content. Like, I personally think consistency with email marketing is the absolute number one rule. Like, if you stop emailing, so if you were to email them for 4 weeks straight, once every week, or however you choose to do it, and then you just disappear for 3 weeks, and then you email them again, they're like, oh shit, I forgot this guy existed. But
Spam.
When you're continuously emailing them on a regular basis and on the same day, at the same time, they get to know that and they get to expect it.
Yeah.
So your your opens should hopefully, increase and get more consistent. So it's not so fluctuating. I have this one online marketer that I absolutely love. Her name's Marie Forleo. And I know that every Tuesday at 9 a.m., she's going to send an email with her latest video. And I don't even read the subject line. I'm like, boom, click, click, watch. Like it's just so ingrained in me now. I've been doing it straight for 3 years because I know that every Tuesday she's sending that out. You know what I mean? So it's really building up that relationship with your recipients and your audience that you really want to focus on. So if you discover that email isn't really the greatest fit for live chat software, but it's freaking awesome for side hustle nation, then I would really start focusing on building your list. I know that you are building your list, but I would focus on like other things I could do to get people on that list. So maybe you switch up your opt-in. Maybe you get more creative with your calls to action or where you put your signups. All these little things. I would integrate lead pages or, just little things that you can do that will really help build that subscriber list. And then, like I said, just you have to be consistent in sending them high, valuable, great content.
Yeah, so like an interesting thing with live chat software HQ, I mean, you would probably want to sort of create like an autoresponder, right? Because it's not like a site you want to sort of consistently upkeep. So if you had an autoresponder series, maybe it would be a 4-week, a 6-week autoresponder series. When you're writing those series, one of the things that we like to stick to is to create it in kind of like a story format. So maybe go through when you first heard about live chat software, or like maybe from the start you were getting, your site was getting a lot of traffic, but you were getting no traction. You didn't know what to do, and then you all of a sudden you came across this site that had this chat box in the corner. Like,
I know you're doing really good with this. I know this is such a dry niche to try. But no, I totally get what you're saying. And these are, for everybody who doesn't know, autoresponder, pre-written series of messages that kind of go out on a schedule that you can set, and it's like kind of automated, set it and forget it.
Yeah.
But Jill, I could totally relate to what you're saying. Like, hey, whatever you do with email, you got to be consistent. I actually got banned from MailChimp. Well, not really banned, but like they shut down my account for, too many people marked it as spam because it had been like, months since I had emailed. I was just like really bad with it. I couldn't be bothered. And, then you blast out and everyone's like, hey, what is this? I don't remember signing up for this. And so they mark it as spam. And then if you go over like a certain percentage, like your complaints or something, like they say, hey, we're going to shut down your account.
Exactly. And it's seriously, I would think it's one of my golden rules. Like consistency with this sort of stuff, online marketing, you have to be consistent. It's just, that's the way it is. If you don't want to be consistent, don't set up an email list. Because
no offense.
No offense to you. But I'm just saying.
That was a big mistake on my part for sure.
Yeah, it's something that has to be done. If you want to go down that route and get involved with it, that's how you're going to have to run it. Otherwise, you'll have one of those situations, which isn't ideal.
Very cool, guys. Thanks so much. I'm really looking forward to my visit to Chiang Mai and getting out, hang with you guys in person. We're going to wrap up with your number one tip for Side Hustle Nation, and then kind of give a shout out for where people can hook up with you guys online.
I mean, I think the biggest tip we have in just going through the motions ourselves, and anyone who wants to set up a side hustle or make it a full-time hustle, is it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be frustrating and maddening and yet rewarding and exciting. And I think if you can get comfortable with the uncomfortable, you have a leg up on everyone else, because so many people bow out before they really reach that level of success that they so desperately want, because it's so challenging. But it's because it's so challenging that it's so goddamn rewarding.
It's almost impossible to go back to a 9-to-5 too. Once you're like deeply immersed into this way of life, it's almost impossible to do anything else.
Yeah.
So I think it's about sort of getting to that point as well, where you're like, okay, I have no choice but to make this succeed because I don't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
I love it. There's no going back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're completely unemployable now. I can't even imagine, like, just how bad of employees we'd be now.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm like, what do you mean you want me to do something for you? No.
That's really awesome. So everybody, you guys have to check out screwthe9to5.com. Josh mentioned The Art of Authority, free ebook, no email sign up necessary. I think that's where this conversation might have started, because I wrote them back and was like, hey, you guys could probably sell this. This is pretty legit. So definitely check that out. And be sure to check out badassguestblogging.com on November 1st.
Thank you so much, Nick.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
And there you have it. I just realized we talked for nearly an hour, supposedly on the topic of affiliate marketing, but barely brought up anything about monetization, finding companies to partner with, or actually making the referrals. And in looking back, I actually think that's 100% appropriate, because affiliate marketing today is about building a brand, building the kind of site that Josh and Jill were talking about, building a useful resource. Now, everything we did talk about was about building the site itself, setting it up for success, making it findable in search engines, making it sticky and readable and helpful. And the money always follows the value, always. When we went through niche selection, keyword research, competitive analysis, content creation tips, white and gray hat SEO tactics, and even touched on some email marketing ideas. I know there's a lot of stuff to cover, so definitely check out the links at sidehustlenation.com/episode 26. And also, if you have any questions about anything we touched on, either for me or for Josh or Jill, leave a comment over there on the site, and I'll make sure one of us responds. And that's it. Thanks for sticking it out to the end. I know it was a long episode. Until next time, go out there and make something happen, and I'll see you next week in episode 27.
Thanks for listening to The Side Hustle Show at www.sidehustlenation.com.